Y'all in here? We are live on YouTube. We are live on TradingView. How's it going, everybody? What a big volatile Monday we've got with Bitcoin. Holy shit. Hope you're not trading that on high leverage. It's not the way to do it during the chop. Let's get everything here ticking along, and then might even add a little tunage in here today. Let's see. Get everything moving here. What's up, everybody? We got Pump Jump, Moon over Minsk. Good to have you, brother. Fired up too. I hope you're all making some money in this. This is a rare treat. The state of the union here. State of the market is hot. It's kind of insane. Hard to sleep. Hard to focus on your work. Maybe hard to focus on your family. Lid, I know. Let's pull that up right away. Let's just start with this thing up here. Ape Squad heavy on the lid. And this thing is moving today. Holy shit. After a beautiful visit to the RLZ on Friday. What's up, Yankee? Good to have you, brother. And we've got Nick is away today. Wasn't able to make it. A couple things came up on his end, and we're gonna fly high without him in his honor. Should be back a little later this week. We're working on a few things, a few angles. Turns out streaming by yourself is one thing. Streaming with someone else is an entirely different thing. So we'll be working through that. And I'm playing with some new toys today. So let me know what you guys think. The tunes are in the background. Yeah, no, seriously. Sleep is expensive these days. And I'm typically one to try to get my sleep because I trade better when I'm rested. But it's hard. And right now, you almost don't have to think to make money in this market. I don't know if you guys know SBRI. What is it even called? It's not even on here. Probably over here. But man, this thing, like, buddies just call me up. They're like, yo. All right. So we're going to do a quick adjustment here. Let's go 55. All right. So, yeah, SBRI, SBREE. Couldn't tell you what it is. But it mooned. And doesn't really show on this chart, but I mean, holy shit, this thing's like 25x from our entry last week. And like when I was like busy, my buddy called me up. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna put an ETH in for you. You can hit me back. And he sent me, I sent him the ETH. He sends me the tokens. They're worth like 10 Ethereum. So it's wild right now, guys. And it's a little tricky to chart a lot of these. A lot of them don't even have, TradingView access. ChartX Pro, I believe, does. I haven't actually been on there yet, but I've seen some of that happening. So I am going to lean a little bit on my bread and butter over on Binance today. But DEXT is doing a pretty good job. And I heard, a little rumor, that they are going to have TradingView integration fairly soon, which is dope. And if you haven't noticed already, they just started charging. They just started charging 5,000 DEXT. You just have to register an email and link it to your wallet to prove that you're holding 5,000, and then you can have access to this. So that's interesting. We'll see how that plays on price. Actually, let's check it out. I haven't even looked at it this afternoon. Probably moving. Yeah. I mean, look, there's some of these that hype and pump because people are, oh my God, XTZ. Okay, we're flipping over there in a sec. There's people who hype and pump these coins and then they go up because, it's like, the greater fool theory, right? It's like, who's going to buy my bag? DEXT is one that I've been on for a while because I want to use it. I need to use it. I see volume on Uniswap rising. Holy shit, new highs today. We'll talk about that in a sec. Somebody bought a whole fuckload of Ethereum. And basically, you know, as a proxy to the popularity of this, which my first impression was like, how the hell do I chart on this? How do I trade on this? You know, I'm just swapping blindly, you know, and then DEXT came along and built this thing. So again, not here to say buy it now. It's a shill. But if you want to use it, you have to buy 5,000 and hold them. So I as much as I like, you know, I took some profits here, you know, bought the dip, but took some profits, like, but I'm holding because I just see organic growth. I see FA, you know, I see like BNB. When I first discovered BNB, I think it was September 2017. So they'd been live for about a month, and I moved over there, and I was just like, holy shit, I need to buy some of this to use for fees. And then I just stopped for a second, thought, man, if I need to buy some of this, other people are going to need to buy some of this. That's real demand. Holy shit. So DEXT, to me, and not to get too crazy because people are like, wow, it's not BNB, but it reminds me a lot of BNB. It's one of the few tokens that I was like, holy shit, I really need to go buy this and hold some because I actually need it to do what I need to do. So we'll see. And they could get some competitors. If they do, I'm going to be buying them up because that's just an echo pump waiting to happen. Real quick, let's jump over here because somebody went and did a crazy thing today. Well, we'll see if they're crazy. Somebody bought, what do we got? 1, 2, 4, it's like something like 15 million Ethereum. $15 million worth of Ethereum today on Uniswap. And that would explain this gigantic candle moon that you see right here. So brand new highs today, $171 million in volume on Uniswap. So, you know, after this, and then it kind of rolled over, and actually on this day, it was even lower, obviously, for a little bit, and it just looked like, oh, it was fun while it lasted. No, I think we're just getting started. And if you wanted to know, you know, a little hint, we've been tweeting about, talking about this over here, the liquidity. These are the providers of Uniswap. These are the ones that let you get in and out of your shit coins. And there's just more and more and more interest, and why not? They make money. They just park, you know, 100 Ethereum and the equivalent in tokens. They just pool it, and they get, what, 1/3% split between everyone on every trade. Split between all the liquidity providers. So, you know, for us, for guys like us, speculators, whatnot, I don't really see too much value in just parking your liquidity like that, because if the token moons, you're essentially just, you know, sloshing your token pool over to your ETH pool, so you don't go up in dollar value with the token. And if the token collapses, you end up with a buttload of this useless token. So there is some risk there. You want to be, you know, if you're going to pool something, you got to pool it in something that you believe in longer term. You know, Ample, for example. Ample, for example. Doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, at least, whether you believe in its price or not. But you can tap in on this volume. I mean, $87 million of volume in the last few days. So, you know, even ETH USD, you know, Spark's like savings account over there. I don't know. Not recommending that, but strikes me as something that could be lucrative, especially for whales, market makers. So they seem to be moving in. We're up to 228 million. Now let's go see XTZ, because this thing has broken out. Actually, we spotted it the other day. Oh, yesterday. Yeah, and okay, so this is sick. And I'm not surprised one bit. I could actually move some things around now. It's getting in the way of my charts. Really sexy little hint last night. If you look at, actually I had to save it as a copy because I wanted to not mess this chart up. Let's check the copy. So check this out. Last night it actually closed above, right? So this is a line chart which measures the candle body close. So if you look here, yeah, wicked up to 394, but it never actually closed up there. So on a line chart, this is the high, right where the candle closed. All right. So to see that, switching to a line chart, and I was putting it out on Twitter last night thinking like, man, if we close above that, that's really like an all-time high in some ways. I mean, yeah, it traded higher than that, but as far as this chart goes, it's going to be seen as an all-time high. And then sure enough, it did close up there. And then, you know, today's been rocket ship. And it's not that surprising if you think about how it likes to move with Link. And look at Link. Holy shit. The Link Marines are out in force through July. Like, look at this thing. We've been tracking this obviously for a while, not necessarily, you know, calling longs and taking trades, but just tracking it. And this pump chaser zone, right? This is where the little Zeus Capital FUD came into the market. Didn't really do much. Pretty standard retrace right to the 382, dipped a little below, never cut the 0.5, which is nice. And then just took off. And, you know, same old story. This thing has been like a fib wet dream. We are up here. It's hard to grab the right one sometimes. There we go. I mean, look, we're just right up in this fib extension. So, you know, after you get this breakout, sick retest, didn't actually quite touch the level. So you would have got front run. Very bullish. And then to close back up here on that daily, whew, bullish stuff. And then naturally the next day shot up, what, like $3, 30%, which doesn't seem like much if you've been on Uniswap flipping X's. But obviously with Link, you know, you can play with leverage. A lot of people are just long from way before. And there's a lot to be said for longevity of a project. You take a lot of risk off the table right now, holding Ethereum, for example, and you can still get some pretty sick asymmetric returns. But it's going to take a while, and you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff right now. So, I mean, it's not how I'm playing it. But if I had like a friend who's like, I want to get into crypto, what am I going to do? I'll be like, well, you know, don't start at Uniswap. Maybe go buy some Ethereum, create a wallet, send a few test transfers, test it out. Yeah. Oh, QTUM as well. Yeah, QTUM. Let's check it out. Actually, we have an idea. We've got an idea. I'm going to go... let's go check our ideas section, because I have a theory on QTUM. Because it's got a mainnet coming up at the end of the month. So this is a chart, I guess, not updated yet. So July 30th. So this is a QTUM trade idea. Let's see how it's playing out. Boom. Yeah, we're moving. So that's a nice one. Like that. Consolidating here for 14 days. Really nice breakout. Gave a few chances. Even wicked right down here for anyone trying to snipe some leverage longs. And we're moving. Tons of confluence up in this green box. Not really saying that's where the top will be, but with as far as like the idea was, is that we should fairly easily reach into that area by the end of the month. And it's not even halfway through the month yet. So let's see. Perhaps we can dive into the chart a little more and pull up some levels. Link dumping as we speak. Okay, let's go take a look at Link live. I like that. Let me get back to my charts. I'll just close this. All right. Now remember, there's going to be violent moves, you know, down on big rallies. So you don't want to get too caught up in the dips unless you're looking to buy. I think that'll do all right. Ooh, broccoli. All right, so let's pull this up. Link. Oh, Lunk. It's not the one. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like it's going to pull up into here and do that fairly predictably. Now, you know, if you're looking for a rollover, right now it just looks like I ripped some faces. Now I'm going to consolidate. People are going to take some profits. You know, volume is still in the bulls' favor. The bears haven't really woken up, so to speak. If we get some new high bar sell-offs. And the nice thing is when those high bar sell-offs come in, just say that's like a dip down to this EMA with a really gross looking line. I mean, just say we do that and we get tons of sell volume and it peaks and takes this over. It says, okay, the bulls are here, or the bears are here. We're ready to roll over. You'll probably get a pretty sick squeeze up. And that, you know, if you're dying to short something, that's where I would look, right? Where you're like this, get up into that sweet spot. So if it's going to roll over, typically not straight up, straight down. I mean, this thing is so bullish. There's going to be a lot of buy the dip. And it's on those buy the dips and the exhausted bounce up. You've heard me say it before, short RLZ. That's where you know, if I'm trying to short something. But I don't know why I would try to short Link. I just look at this chart. I mean, aside from the fact that it's gone completely parabolic and is probably overbought on more than one time frame. But I mean, this thing, you know, I'd have to look into the tokenomics myself as far as like all these partnerships they have with everyone. Everyone seems to be loving Link partners and all that. You know, are they buying up tokens and they're going to be holding them because you need them to access the Oracle services? That would be my guess. Honestly, never looked into it. I'm not a Link Marine. But a sick token, and it's on a sick run. So let's take a look at ETH BTC, because that's really, aside from the king, this pair to me is like king of the altcoins. And so I want to get the high time frame out. We have one in the ideas section, but it's not as easy to see. So let's get that out, and then I really want to get out the long open interest as well. That's one Nick and I have been tracking. See if we can find any reason to be bearish, because it's easy to be bullish right now. I'm very bullish. I'm very long, very exposed. So really, it's like sit and chill and enjoy it. But, you know, keep an eye on things. Find out if there's any reason to be taking a little extra profit this week. So we'll pull that up in a sec. So, I mean, zoomed out, you can see ETH BTC just broke out of a high time frame reversal pattern. Consolidated here for like 2 months and is now just broken up. I see no reason to think like, here's a top. This is my target for October. Pretty insane. Yep. I could see it happening very easily right now. It seems easy, right? So after breaking out of that consolidation, we came in, tested the wick high from February. Pretty sick level. So we double tap that, triple tap. I don't know. A couple of dailies tagged that thing. Tink, 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 tink. And took off. Really strong breakout of that. Moved up. This was like the big psycho FU candle that Saturday. Was it last Saturday? The one before. Rolled over here, which was a pretty easy tell that we'll have to go back and test this breakout level. And we did. Filled it right here. And another bullish close after that tag. So yeah, I mean, we're just climbing the staircase here. And I think that's good. I don't think we need to, you know, rip faces on this pair necessarily. Yeah. Esprit, what up? That's right. Okay. All right. Austin's coming here to shill his bags. What does he got? Some YF Link, Esprit, ETHverse. Yep. I like all those. They're not bad. Look interesting. And they're all new. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think some of these things that we're getting crazy X on out of the gate is like they're a couple days old. It's like Messiah said on his tweet earlier today. He's like, the gains that you're going to make in the near future are so sick. They're going to make you sick to your stomach. That's how I'm starting to feel. I'm like, holy shit, if it's 25x on day 4 and there's presumably an entire wave coming, it's fun to think about. But, you know, my trading plan is built to last in all weather. So I'm not really changing a whole lot. I'm definitely taking a few more risks right now because it's a risk-on environment. But I'm still taking profit. I'm still paying myself. I'm still staying liquid, not burying myself in, 27 different little bags, because it's just not how I approach the market. Now, XTZ is one where if this weekly closes for the Bitcoin pair, so bullish. This thing, I mean, I really think this one looks like it's ready to moon. Don't know that this pennant is too relevant anymore. It's old. We kind of broke through that and crushed it. But if you look at the high time frames on Tezos, I mean, look at this thing. Break up, retest that level, fail, 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 retest, retest, and then this huge pop off that level again with volume. I mean, what happens when it breaks these highs? And then it's in price discovery on both charts. I mean, it's already making highs on USD. Let's see how that looks on candles. Yeah, just broke all-time highs. So I mean, sky's the limit now. Ain't no telling where it's gonna go. Ain't no stopping it. Tezos. Very strong. And, you know, let's not forget, what was it, like a month ago, China came out and says, we like Tezos. We like Neo. You know, they had a list that we tweeted out. About 5 different projects. I think ONT was on there. Let's see what ONT's up to. Yeah, it's not bearish. It's pushing higher. I mean, so many altcoins look just like this versus USD, right? March 13th. And they're just trickling up. Failed to roll over, right? The bears had their opportunity to step in here. They tried. The bulls came in and said, nah, we'll be a bull market now, thanks. So I've got this short RLZ written on here, but what I'm really looking at is fib extensions. I don't know if you guys have been paying much attention, but those things have been painting, absolutely painting targets. So let's get an example. Obviously, Link we already had on here. So really easy example with Link, right? You take that low, you take that high. It's hard when you got a lot of ink on the chart. Get that high. So that's the previous rally, right? We had the low, with the high. And then you just draw that, and in this extension, if you do the 1.618, it's a golden ratio. I like to do the 2 as well for a 2x. And then I take the half of that, sort of like the sweet spot, the inverse of the sweet spot. And you can see price just parking in it. Another one that I've been tracking closely. Really nice chart here. Same kind of thing, right? Fib extension painting the target. So sick. So you have the low, you have the structure, right? Market structure, big breakout, retest. Kind of struggled, faked out twice here, but really nice entry right off the sweet spot, right off this SR level. Draw up that fib extension to the high, and you got your target. Now, again, this is sort of like a, okay, I'm going to pay myself now. Doesn't necessarily mean, yeah, well, look at that. How to apply fibs. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm all out of a token by here. You know, I think there's a lot to be said for trailing. We can talk a little bit about trailing stop losses, take profits if you guys are interested. Hell yeah, Jeff. I'd love to look at KNC. Let's do it. So this is a place where at the very least, my stop loss is at break even. There's no way I'm letting something like this trade. You know, if I got long off this breakout, or if I just went YOLO and bought this 702. If I bought down here, what the fuck am I doing if I don't move my stop loss to break even at least? I would personally close probably half my trade here, take half of the position off, put my stop loss to break even, maybe even just put it up under this SR level here, right? The previous breakout. And then just chill. And then I can really enjoy this thing, because the next extension, look at this. Look at this. Right? Just going way up if you like that. So that would be nice. And that actually paints a picture similar to the original chaos breakout level. So pretty sick. Right? And that's just how I move with markets. You get the up, come back into that RLZ, go up to the reload extension. And so I guess if we want to look for a higher low to buy, I'm just using this chart because it's trending so beautifully. So really, you know, this is like higher high, higher low, higher high. If you're trying to buy into an uptrend, you want to buy the highs? No, buy the lows. Buy the higher lows. They always come. One time or another, you will get a sell-off, a take profit, a panic. Everyone who foamed in right up here will dump at a loss after the smart money or whoever bought down here takes their profit. Shake it out, maybe down to the RLZ. If we're super bullish, just down to this pump chaser, right? Then we continue. So there's a few ways to hunt higher lows, and then once you have them, you can draw your extensions and then set your next take profit. Pretty sick way to trade. It helps a lot when it's trending. Fib extension. Asking if I use log. Well, let's take a look at my settings. They are not a secret. The 1618, the 809, and the 2 for my extension levels. Some people like a whole bunch of different ones. Those are the 3 I stick to. Just paints me a nice colorful zone. I find it gets a lot of play. Here are my values, levels, prices. I use it on reverse. I keep my labels on the left. Not sure. Oh, fib levels based on log scale. Yeah, and that's locked. So I guess so. Good question, VIY. So yeah, pretty sick little way to use fibs, and I use them on every trade. Now let's go check out KNC, which is suddenly getting into the DeFi train. And maybe a tune. Let's get some nice background, kind of like some deep relax house. Let's go. All right. So KNC. Yeah, I mean, trending up. Bit of a danger zone here if you're looking for a higher low, sort of potential reversal. Definitely had, I mean, it definitely put in a double top, which for now is what it's shaking through, right? You get the market structure here, you can see fairly clearly. High, lower high, fail. And as you can see right here, as that failed, this is why people say, like, to me, they're like, wow, technical analysis doesn't work. Well, it doesn't always work. If it worked every single time, right? And it's easy to point at times when you're like, well, that looked like this and it didn't fire the way it was supposed to, right? I mean, arguably here, I'll just use this example. You had a high, you had a lower high, you had a fail. Yeah, turtle soup, shake out, fake out, busted, stopped out, and have a nice day. So, you know, that does not mean TA doesn't work. And you can see a really good example here. High, lower high, probably, yeah, you had some bearish divergence here. Right, there you go. And so, you know, price went on to make higher highs, looking really bullish. Momentum was a little slower. Put in this double top, and you can see as soon as this candle closed, accelerated dump, right? That was the confirmation of the bearish market structure. And that's why you got that. And that, you know, that's great. That's giving people an opportunity to buy a higher low if you're in a bull market. You know, it doesn't mean Kyber's dead. I was actually in this ICO back in 2017. I remember being disappointed. It was like a community cap. I think you were allowed 3.2 Ethereum only. So it was mildly disappointing. But look at this. Just got out of the pump chaser zone. Came right into this consolidation level. Kyber's actually looking not bad. Again, right? Yeah, okay, bearish top, market structure, fail. But that's like what I was saying with Link, right? You want to buy the higher lows if you're bullish on something, not chase this shit. You're not going to make money chasing that shit. I mean, you might, but you're going to be waiting a long time. You're going to be taking a huge amount of downside risk. And what if this fails, right? And you got in up here, you're like, well, it'll eventually make new highs. Well, what if it fails here? Now you're really in the shit and you're holding through, right? So bull market, bear market, doesn't matter. I'm managing risk, I'm sizing positions, and I'm buying higher lows, not higher highs. So the way to do that, pump chaser fib. Draw it up. Now, this is pretty perfect. Framed it. It doesn't always work out that way, but again, with TA, depending on how you size your risk, if you're a trader who's like literally just in and out trades regardless of the state of the market, a lot of people right now I know are like holding on, saying I'm going to buy this, I'm just going to hold it to 100x. That's cool. Hope that works out. I'm definitely holding some coin that I'm not selling, but anything I'm holding that I don't watch, don't have alerts on, don't really care too much about in the shorter term, those are all free bags. I stay liquid. So for example, on the weekend, I bought some shitcoin on Uniswap Nexe, N-E-X-E. Some of you guys watching probably know that one. And I lied. My buddy bought it for me. I was busy and the boys were hunting, and I said, okay, put me down for X, you know? So they grabbed it for me, sent it to me, sent them the ETH back, all good. And I look and I'm already, you know, it's up a couple ETH. I'm like, okay, cool. I took my money back out of it. I don't know what that coin is. Heard that the white paper looked like trash. Could be a scam. But my position in it is completely free now. I've got my ETH back out, got a couple ETH in there, riding free. And I won't even look at the chart this week. I'm just going to, you know, I'll wait till someone tells me. I'll be like, dude, did you see that Nexe chart? It's 100x. Like, now we're talking. Now we're cooking with grease. So you can kind of see some bullish structure coming in here. Nice breakout, retest. Right out of the pump chaser zone. So yeah, I like KNC, long story short. I mean, I like when people bring up charts like this, where it's like, okay, cool, this thing's been ripping face. It cooled off. It failed here. It dropped down. Shake out. A lot of weak hands getting shaked out. A lot of stop losses triggering. And then the bulls stepped in. Not a lot of volume here, where the bull's coming in to break out, so I don't love that. But definitely the right idea to be looking at these higher lows on a bullish coin. So I hope that kind of helps what you were looking at, Jeff. Maybe you wanted to see the USD chart, not sure. Short 4 hour, please. Very bullish. Dude, what was double bottom? Short 4 hour, please. Yeah. Well, Harun Tekken. He's hit me up in the chat here. Wonder what he's on about. Sometimes it's really hard to tell what people are saying while they're texting. So let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a bullish breakout structure. Bottom line. I think he pulled back, 382. Had a chance to keep going down, didn't want to. KNC's bullish. I wonder what the Kyber metrics are looking like. If you really want to get a feel for this, like on a deeper level too, you can always look at the volume on the exchange. Fuck it, let's do it right now. So these are sometimes the things that I will do when I'm wondering, especially if I'm like thinking about taking a larger position. You can go over to CoinGecko fairly easily. Usually can get some pretty good data on an exchange, like statistics, volume. Let's see, 1 year. Did this for FTX a couple weeks ago. I was looking into a trade on FTT. You could just see the volume steadily rising. It's usually a pretty good sign. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, look at that. What do we got? March 13th, ton of volume, probably selling. And then we've just been slowly trending up. So when you see this slow uptrend in usage, and then you circle back to their token, to me that's bullish. It's similar to DEXT. DEXT, right? I mean, yeah, you tell me. Does thing look like it has any more upside in it? This is all post 2017. They didn't even have an exchange really. It was just like an idea. And then there's like mainnet launch, and now we're adding more pairs, and now we have users, and we're actually getting more volume. So to me, this is a buy the dip type scenario, and yeah, the perfect dip was down around 12,000 sats. We've just confirmed, so you're actually getting more confirmation right here. If you waited for this and you got it, and now this little dip back in. Let's see, this is what we were talking about before. Ooh, LTO. All right, we'll pull up LTO. You guys keep these requests coming. I'm happy to look into this shit. I mean, some of my best trades come from stuff that I look at on the stream and then kind of rewatch back later on high speed, because I got to review a few things and make sure it all went smoothly, and then I write down some of the ideas that we talk about. Now, this didn't quite tag that RLZ. Sometimes, you know, you get that little breakout, and I like to look, okay, confirmed bullish breakout. Now hunt for those stink bids. Yeah, it's chintzy. I know it's a bull market, but man, the risk is so low when you can get in at those levels, and then you can have your stop loss right below. And the ultimate purpose of that, which I've talked about before, is just so you can have a larger position size, right? If I'm going to risk, like if I'm actually trading this, not just blindly buying and going to hold, right? So I got to risk, let's say to this low, 18% of whatever I put in there could disappear if my stop loss hits. And I'm going to take it to 3 to 1. So I don't even have to be right half the time. Right? 18%. So if I want to risk 5% of my account, which is max bet for me, then I can only have so much coin, right? But if I snipe, and these things fill like nobody's business. It's kind of crazy how many times after the bullish breakout you just get that roll back over into that RLZ and then go. If I do that, I'm only risking 12% of my position. So that same max bet, 5% total portfolio risk, suddenly is a much larger bag of KNC, which, especially in a bull market, when using trailing stop losses and presumably tracking this thing for quite a while, you know, is worth it to me. And if it's a bag where I'm like, KNC's the future, I can't miss this, I would be heartbroken. Well, then I'll just fucking buy it. I don't have to worry about all this shit. I'm just going to hold it. Sell half on a double and ride free for a life, right? Let's pull up LTO. So many different strategies. I know everyone in here has their own way of doing it. Maybe you're just feeling yourself out here. Feeling yourself out. Maybe you're just like feeling out the strategy and you're not quite 100% sure, and you're taking in content from different people and trying different styles. So I'm going to share as many options as I can. Whatever you do, manage risk. Some way. Have some management plan in place. Because no matter how bright the sun shines and how much hay you can make during this cycle, at some point, without risk management, you will get shit on. It's almost a mathematical certainty. So one of the ways I manage risk is I take money off the table after I've made a significant amount. Seems pretty obvious, but it's easy. Pull out some ETH from that shit moon bag that just went 10x. Reset your dry powder so you have something for a new idea. Meanwhile, you got a free bag, which is not free money. I mean, it's still money that could disappear, but it's pretty easy to not look at it and care about it and let that thing ride off into the sunset, hoping that this is wave one of a much larger cycle, and then all this shit is just 500x. It's possible. The good ones, definitely possible. Let's take a look at LTO. Really nice. Without even thinking, I just draw this fib on it. You can see sweet spot, RLZ, kind of my fill zones. Pump chaser fib is one in a really aggressive market that I've been toying with. I honestly haven't traded off this thing too much. I've talked about it a lot. I put it on a lot of charts, but I really like my RLZ. And if you can have both, why not have the highest R, right? Maybe a little greedy. But things like Link, XTZ, now that it's gotten into price discovery, I'll be pulling out the pump chaser fib because those things are just ripping face, and you probably won't get a big lazy 702 retrace. So LTO looks real nice. Let's see. Yep, just moved up in the daily, kind of putting in a little fractal top here. So this would be one to apply maybe what I was just talking about on that last chart. So you get your low. You get that nice bullish breakout, right? You can hopefully see this by now. Drawn a few of these. You get the low, higher low. So you had the high in here, higher low, higher high. So that's why this confirms. And as you can see, when it did go through, it went pretty fast and continued on its way. So if I wanted to get long on this, well, I keep hearing about it. Maybe I do. I don't know yet. If I wanted to get long on this, this is actually how I would draw it up. And or even, after you get this bullish market structure, you could say, okay, now I've got my confirmation. I really don't want to miss this one. I don't want to wait for this, chintzy RLZ. So here I'm going to use the pump chaser. Would have already been filled. 665. With volatility in the majors, these kinds of fills happen all the time when you're trading against Bitcoin. Speaking of Bitcoin, have we even looked at Bitcoin today? Let's start over here on the spot versus CME. So you've got your futures, you've got your BTC spot index. And this is just a comparison I had because it is, to me, bullish when the futures are leading. Spot basically says the guys down at the CME on the futures are trading. They're literally paying a premium right now of about $150. And that's generally a bullish thing when they're paying a premium. It's still pretty tight. You can see the spread stays pretty tight here. And, how significant a signal is it? I don't know. I just find it interesting, so I keep it on. Obviously, we had a nice big breakout of this consolidation, and I kind of feel like this price action right here is a little bit reminiscent of our 10K approach. And I'll show you why. Or at least, I'll show you. It's actually really good news because it means that altcoins are probably going to just get to have some more fun here. All right, so if you don't know yet, markets really have two states, trending and ranging, okay? And for a significantly larger portion of the time, the market is in a ranging state, not a trending state. And of course, you can have uptrends on a 5-minute chart while the daily is consolidating. So let's just stick to one time frame here. And for the purposes of this example, we'll do a daily. So you could argue that obviously on the daily trending down here, right? High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, dump. So where was that trend reversal? Well, you put in a low, put in a higher low, breakout, retest. So this was pretty clear and fairly easy to spot as far as like a little daily trend reversal. And of course, you know, the EMAs take a while. MAs take a while. That's why they're lagging indicators. A lot of people don't like them. But you have now, you're making newer highs, right? High, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low, right? And then we began consolidating. And the end of that trend, or that phase of the trend, was marked by this big nasty dump, right? We're trending up, we're trending up, we're trending up. No, we're not. And then it was just shocked the market into a state of consolidation. Ranging. No clear trend. Lower highs, higher lows, right? It didn't really have a whole lot going on. It was very tricky to trade. If you're on leverage in there, not good. Unless you know what you're doing. I mean, I know some guys who were taking shots, shorting the highs and longing the lows, and they were, you know, because once you can spot this transition into a ranging state, you can actually, it's just a different kind of thing, right? And the psychology of it is typically as it goes up again, you're like, this is it, the breakout. And so people are longing, people are shorting, getting wrecked until finally it's ready to move. Now we had another big impulse up and, right, big FU candle. So that, to me, you know, it's going to put a little shock in the market. Perhaps, you know, get us ranging for a little while. So I dropped the range. Sure enough, yeah, we're just ranging for now. Really nice breakout to start. Not a full, well, actually, technically we closed. But it was a nice breakout to open the weekly here. And we actually did get the close just above previous candle body highs. Big shit the pants here in the middle, in the morning, right down to EQ. No, you know, so probably just ranging for a bit. And again, that's really nice to see because Bitcoin dominance, altcoins, ETH, BTC, they love when Bitcoin ranges, especially after moving up. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Now you can go play. So I expect to see a lot more juice in alts. Not just because Bitcoin is ranging right now, but in general. It's so bullish, guys. God, this is fun. Just fucking enjoy this shit. If you're not enjoying this, please reach out. Check us out in the trading pit. Come say hi. Come get a hug. Let's learn some shit so you can enjoy this bull market. If you're not enjoying this, you got to either be, you know, missing out, taking unnecessary risks, not managing risk. I mean, shorting too much. There's definitely time to throw on some, you know, range high hedge plays if you like. I did. But man, if you're not having a great fucking time those last few weeks, please, let's reflect on why. Because you could start too. Hell yeah. Okay. So, well, my bad. So we got Dave Sinex over on TradingView says, bro, how can I know which currency I should trade here in TradingView? Well, that is the age-old question. So one of the things I do to scan, and then Cigar asked if I could take a look at ZCASH. Hell yeah. Happy to take a look. ZCASH, yeah, privacy coins are rallying. So real quick on the dominance. This thing, I mean, just down at support here. Bounce, 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 bounce. Again, ranging, consolidating. Bitcoin rallied last night up to 12K, as we saw. Nice big push. I mean, before, you know, obviously before this, that looked like this was very bullish, right? You're chill, you're chill, you're chill. Didn't break down and then just blasted off on volume. It looked like we were ready to take the next range. But as you can see, it was not meant to be. Not yet. And that makes sense. I think we do need to consolidate for a bit, and that's great news. So it's interesting to see that Bitcoin didn't take much dominance back in the market on that move. I mean, there wasn't even one big spiking candle up, which means the faith, to me, that means the faith in alts are strong right now. People aren't just rushing to the exit of their alt trades just because BTC moved. Very comfortable. BTC is going to have to really rip some faces if it wants to shake out this alt rally, I think. There's just a lot of mania and euphoria in the market right now, and dopamine and dip buyers. And frankly, there's a lot of people making money, so more money to buy the dip. You know, interesting stuff. So, yeah, as far as like, drop today filled the CME gap precisely. Oh, did it? Let's pull that up. Love a good gap fill. Got the CME here. That's the index. You know what? Let's just get a fresh chart. Cigar says we filled the CME gap precisely today, which is sexy. Oh yeah, look at that. The 4 hour. Delightful. Are you talking about the 4 hour? Or are you referring to the daily perhaps? I'm sure they both. Yeah, see, daily didn't have the same gap. So if you're not aware of gap theory, it's basically just like a gap represents an inefficiency in the market, price discovery unfulfilled. So it is said, apparently some big study did a back test and something like 85 to 90% of gaps get filled. But there is no time frame on that. So it could be years, could be decades. And the person, you know, a believer in that theory, yeah, could still fill. So take that for what you will. But some of these shorter term gaps like that, that's a sick fill. And the nice thing is you can trade off that, right? Maybe you're shorting here, get your take profit. Maybe you're saying, you know what, I'm going to long off the gap. I know as a location tool, if you're already thinking, you know, in terms of fibs, look at that sweet spot. Oh, love that fucking thing. Right? So you're like, okay, I've got confluence down here. I got my RLZ and a gap and a node on the VPVR. I'm going to lay my bid there. You know, not talking about, you know, whether or not we're rolling over here or moving up, but in general, you can use gaps as a location tool. We've got a request from Borduk for Pi. We'll take a look at that. So the guy who asked sort of which currency you should trade here in TradingView, that's a really loaded question. That's like, which coin to buy? I mean, I don't even know how I'd answer that. First of all, and I'll just tell you what I did when I first started as I pull up ZCASH. I'm assuming ZCASH USDT for now. If you like to see the Bitcoin pair and that's what you're talking about, let me know. What I did when I very first started, I had no knowledge of markets, and I came in and I was like, oh, cool, Ripple, cool, Ethereum, Bitcoin, these are neat. Stratus was one I bought. It was May 2017, so it was going crazy, so I bought some. But what really set me apart, gave me an edge in 2017 was joining, it was actually it was a Slack channel, it's a Stratus altcoin Slack channel. And I hopped in there and I just got to know the characters in there. Obviously I don't know the people behind them, the avatars, but then you start to know who's an idiot, who's just saying pump my bags, you know, clearly like I just bought this thing. Or you have a guy in there who is a software engineer and he's looking through code and he's like, hey, you know, this Lisk code is really sick, you know, we should be looking into this. And he's doing some ICOs and he's pulling them, and maybe I didn't even buy the first one he mentioned. But then that's actually where I heard about Icon's ICO. That thing went from 15 cents to $14. Took 2 months. Didn't even launch for a bit. Felt a little weird sitting out of my own cash for 2 months through into December. But then it came out and it was like 100x. So yeah, early on, I don't know, I can't say your name. Davson Ikes. That would be my recommendation. Get with a group. Find a community. You know, don't Google paid group and pick the first one. That's a terrible idea. But, you know, start to connect with people, network, learn shit, and listen a lot to, you know, to the right people ideally. And as you start to suss out these characters out of the market, like myself, right? Maybe you're like, hey, this RT guy knows what he's talking about. I should listen a little more. Or, you know, he's kind of an idiot. I just want to YOLO long everything. Like, that's cool. But find your people ASAP. ape strong in the trading pit, pretty solid crowd. A lot going on in there. It's a little overwhelming, but you know, that kind of thing. If you check us out on YouTube, the link to that Telegram, it's totally free. It's in our description on YouTube. So you can hop in there. Definitely some very talented traders in there, and you just got to be careful because a lot of people show up there too and they're like, hey, this is breaking out, buy my bag. And, you know, watch for that shit. I don't buy everything that's mentioned in there, but there's some hot gems coming in there. So let's look at ZCASH. I hope that helps a bit, dude. It's a loaded question. Okay, Bitcoin alerts. ZCASH just got... Oh, the alert sound goes off every time. Where are we at? Okay, nothing major, but just broke down from a range I was watching. Yeah, so I mean, after that move, this doesn't look great. I'll be honest. Going back to our range, I mean, it doesn't look like, oh, this is the top, but it definitely looks like we need to go visit some range levels. Where did my range go? I had one. There it is. Yeah. So, you know, big dump, really strong recovery, and now just kind of rolling over. Not a hot look if you're like, you know, I mean, we're at a throwback level, so this is probably my sort of, this is my do or die level. If we lose that, definitely if we close below here, and give us some bearish market structure. And again, this is actually, I think, would be really good for alts. Let Bitcoin fuck off and range for a bit, right? Squeeze everyone out, chop all that shit. Could you imagine what altcoins would do if this is what Bitcoin did over the next 3 weeks? Whew. That's what I'm really trading. I'm not really trading Bitcoin. I'm trading against Bitcoin right now. So, you know, you just don't want to lose like 11K with any kind of significant close. Really want to stay above here personally. So let's take a look at ZCASH. Yeah, Harry, okay. Getting honest over here. So you feel guilty not having fun. Bags aren't pumping. Everything's going up. My shit is not. So I'm obviously doing something wrong, but not sure what. Bad picker, I guess. Well, careful, man, because a lot of the biggest winners I've had were boring as hell for like a month. And so you could have shitty bags. I don't know what they are, but you could have really good ones and they just haven't broken out yet. So my thoughts on that are basically that it's really easy to get caught watching leaderboards all day. And if you do that, you're just going to think there's always something going up and it's not you. And I found that through June and July. I had a number of tokens. You know how long I fucking sat? Sorry, ZCASH, we're coming right back. Do you know how long I sat in Syscoin? Like, I was buying against these highs. It broke out. It failed, right? And all through this is like May and June. There's some coins that were running. VET was up 100%. ADA was rallying, right? Like, this was a loser bag. I mean, look at this thing. A year of accumulation. Total trash, right? Nobody wants my Syscoin. And then it finally broke out, and it got rejected so hard. If you zoom in, I mean, not so hard, but like, finally broke out. I was like, yeah, I got my price alert. I was fired up, and then it just crushed. It actually closed down here. And then, you know, and then, and it was just nothing. It was so boring. And then, one fateful day, I woke up on July 16th, and I got another price alert, and it was just, so much for my loser bag now, right? So, Harry Seldon. Could be patience. Could be an issue with patience. And that's what makes me uncomfortable about the trading pit, to be honest. Because like some guys coming in there like, well, my bag hasn't moved today, so I'm just going to cut it, take my loss, and what's the next one? But like even Zamp, and I am coming back to ZCASH, bro. I want to rant. I got to finish my rant. I mean, even Zamp, look at this thing in rallying today. But like, let's go to the 1 hour actually. But like in Uniswap terms, this is like boring as hell. Everyone's like, oh, Zamp, do something, bro. Right? It's the longest friggin' thing, but it was only like 10 days, 11 days. So what, you're in the wrong bag because this, and then, you know, got a nice pop today. What did it move? Like 50%. So they're like almost 100% off the low if you bought the 786 here, which is a sick level. I know a trader who just buys 786s. No stop loss, no nothing else. I mean, he might have a stop at 886, but like generally speaking, he's just sniping these entries, and more often than not, they're a good place to buy in a hot market anyways. So yeah, 100%. But ZAMP has been boring for 2 weeks almost after its initial little, right? So hope that helps, Harry. Keep your head up, bro. The solution to your bags not pumping is maybe not, you know, again, not financial advice ever, but like it's maybe not to just rush out and buy the thing that is pumping. But it might be a time to, you know, check in with some traders, get to know some people in some of your communities. Yeah, patience. I mean, yeah, if you got the right bags, it's like Messiah was saying last night on a stream, like if you get the right bags, does it matter when they 10x if you're pretty sure they will? It is painful to watch leaderboards moving every day, day after day, and hear people talking about how good they are and how fucking jacked up they are and how much money they made. But you got to stay patient. You got to stay patient. And that's personally why trading with a plan, trading with some TA, trading with some FA really helps me be patient, right? Because if you know what you're trading and it's a setup that you vetted and it's a coin that you've seen before, right? Like an exchange token, and you've seen how BNB behaves, and then like a next one comes out and it's getting volume, like Kyber, for example, FTT, then you're comfortable being patient. Today's not my day, but I'm very confident my day is coming. If you are buying random shitcoin recommendations from people who you don't know, and you're holding those, and you don't know a thing about them, you haven't even looked at charting's not your thing, being patient is very, very hard. So there's a big difference. Cheers, brother. I hope that helps. And yeah, do check in with us in the trading pit if you're not there already. Say what up. Tag us. Ask questions. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you to buy or sell or what to do specifically to your stuff, but always here to listen. Share what we can. So look, Zcash, big market structure breakout on the weekly. Very bullish. Privacy coins generally. We'll be right back to this, but like just real quick, like you can, it's like becoming a joke how many times I've left Zcash, but like, you know, you're getting a nice, this is a weekly, right? So you're getting a nice big rally in privacy coins. My guess is that Dash is enjoying one too right now. Maybe not as big. Oh yeah, look at that. Dash, we did a nice little write-up on Dash actually on the last stream. So Dash smacked into 100. So I mean, thinking about the privacy majors, you need to call them majors, ultra high mid caps. Think about Zcash. I want to do some like proper targeting on this thing. So let's see. I mean, you want a sick chaos level for the next bull market? Let's go from the low. It's not really a higher low. I don't know if this is going to be relevant. 291. Probably because it's a lower low. I don't know if that even really flies. To see what my chaos trade mentor would say. You typically want a right shoulder, like a right side to be higher, but it's a little bit tricky. I mean, there's not as much price history here. I think maybe we have to go over to, where's the oldest chart for Zcash? I feel like it might be Finex. Yeah, it's a lot better. So let's see if we can find some old levels to play with here. I mean, really clear and obvious one up here. So that to me is like a pretty good next target as far as like magnets on price go. See if I can find the magnet on the fly. Do 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 do. There we go. Right. I mean that kind of a level should act as a magnet on price. We've got one just ahead that we have yet to, we've just kind of approached it. So a couple levels to look forward to. If this flips, that's a really nice piece of market structure to play off. right? Getting like a bullish retest long up into there. That's a sweet trade. So we could get something like that. What is that? Like, that's a 50%er. Put some leverage on that. Throw down $100 on 20x. I don't know. So I might look into that for a trade. Privacy coins in general doing well right now. So cigar, hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. Not really a Zcash guy myself. It's a bit of a dinosaur, moves slow, but you know, I'm playing in the mud right now over in Uniswap myself. Little Binance too. Some majors over there, or shitcoins I should say. Let's see what an extension would look like. Yeah, look at that. Right up into that resistance. Boom. So targeting the high 100s for continuation. If we get there, you know, if we blast through this level, consolidate at this level, whatever it is, I think high 100s makes a lot of sense. And then, I mean, if you want to talk about next cycle, ooh, baby. Are we ever going to break highs? Who knows? But look at this. Short RLZ. You know, you're thinking about the GAN 50. It's like $400. It's a pretty sick retracement. We could even really go far on this one and talk about when. Go from the high. How much time? Like, this was the low. So I'm kind of cheating because that's already not going to come true, but maybe cheating, although maybe there's another chart where this wick didn't happen. Actually, remember that wick. It's a little bit gross at the time. Was looking at it on Finex back when I traded there. So what is that? 114 weeks. So in half the time, what's half of 114? Some quick math, 57. That would put us here. So again, 50-50, which if you guys have been watching my atom tracking, does happen. Half the rally and half the time. Vibrational signature of the universe. Let's go. We're looking at next April, a rally up into $400 if you believe in GAN. Always looks ridiculous. Not just you. It really does look crazy when you draw those up. However, oh, that's a copy. Whoa, alert. Let's do the BTC pair. I think I erased a lot of it yesterday. That's too bad. Nope, it's back. Good, didn't save it. Same thing here. Just real quick. Bring this up all the time, but it's a quick example of the 50-50, right? Get the big rally down, measure that. That was 139, 140 bars. Take the 70, half of that, stretch it out, stretch out half the distance, and look, we almost smacked it. So sick. And yes, I was actually drawing this up back here, right? Saying, look, are we going to get there? And sure enough, we did. So it's easy to see in retrospect, but man, this one was fun because we were a month, 2 months ahead of it. And when you see it happen, it's just the most satisfying thing ever. All right, gotta look up at the chats here. In the pit, feels overwhelming with all the messages and recommendations. Yeah, Harry Seldon, careful, bro. The pit is overwhelming. And it's fun as hell. You get in there, it's like, oh, everything's so crazy, but it's your money and it's real money, and you don't want to get shit on because nobody else there is going to feel bad. Not because they're dicks, it's just not the way markets work, right? Each man themselves, every person for themselves. And, you know, at the end of the day, you got to protect your capital. So sifting through the noise is tricky. I do find it a little overwhelming as well. And so that's what I mean about picking out. And I spot very quickly certain characters that I'm like, okay, like they're just shilling random stuff all the time, or holy crap, that coin that person just shilled turned out to be a scam. So like never listening to them again, right? Like you have to almost take notes on, if you're in there to like seek alpha, you have to take notes on who is giving out the alpha and who is not. Messiah, obviously a great bet if you're in there and he's popping in there and he's talking some, you know, some coins, he's giving some ideas. I love that about him too. He's vets the ideas. People will bring it to him. He'll be like, oh, let's take a look. I don't know. Maybe. Nope. Yep. So, you know, get in there, start to recognize who you feel like has some pretty good handle on things, and then just take notes, man. Learn. And don't rush, Harry. Don't rush. Oh my God, so much time. You have so much time. If, you know, I'm going to be doing this shit for the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years to some extent. And so my plan has to reflect that. I don't need to get rich tomorrow. I don't need to get rich next month. I don't even need to get rich this cycle. I fucking hope I do. Plan to. But if I didn't, you know, this isn't a flash in the pan for me. I am committing to a long-term process. That involves reflection, that involves journaling, that involves reading books, that involves consuming meaningful content, building healthy habits. It's a lot of work. But it's just like I was in high school and I did some boxing, and it's the same kind of thing, right? You train hard because if you don't, you're going to get your ass kicked. Somebody's going to literally beat me up because they trained harder while I was eating potato chips and smoking weed in the back. So I got fucking jacked. I was like working hard for 3 months. Didn't ever really end up doing much boxing. Thank God. Brain damage. Jesus. Did like 2 sparring matches and then got a job and couldn't train anymore. So point is, it's super hyper competitive. And right now it's easy as fuck to make some money if you know in the right place and you get lucky and blah, blah, blah. But over time, it'll pay off to learn that shit and pull it up. Yeah, I hear you, Donnie. It has gotten a little overwhelming. And so, and you know, here's the cool thing, guys, and not to encourage you to like leave the trading pit, but look, build your squad, right? Ape Squad's dope and it's exciting and there's a lot of juice flowing around in there. And if like ideas catch, the group itself will put a lot of funds in and it rallies. It's crazy. But you know, like I very quickly in my time in crypto was pulling people, you know, not pulling them out of groups, but like messaging them being like, yo, like I made this little group so we can just have a little more focus. And you spot who you think you want to add to that squad and you build it. Actually, in fact, my primary trade group right now is guys I met in 2017. And we got a little quiet over the last 2 years. Shout out to Magnus. You guys are dope. And we got a little quiet over the last 2 years. Everyone kind of pulled back, doing their own thing, learning some shit. And now the juice is back in the market. And, you know, we just 25x'd Xbree. I don't even know what that coin is. I still don't know what that coin is. My boys bought it for me because I was busy that day and they couldn't get a hold of me. They said, oh, okay, I'll put in an ETH for them. Fucking thing 25x'd. Get a squad, boys. Find a squad. Vet your squad. There's a lot of people looking for it. So you just got to figure out who's putting in work. Who is actually putting in the hours, putting in the time, putting in the work, and is smart. And then gather them. Yeah. Look for them. They're out there. There's a lot of hungry people out there. Some people are just here. They don't have time, whatever. They're just looking for some quick stuff. Other people are grinding. Find some grinders. Build a squad. Up your alpha. And Trading Pit's a great place to start that, I think. There's a ton of very smart people in there. Okay, rant session heavy. We are past 5 o'clock. But we got a little momentum here. And I feel like there was one thing in here. Bordock wants to look at Pi. Is it even on here? I don't think so. I don't recognize it as a trading view name. Is it like a Uniswap coin? Getting tricky. What's that one? I don't know where I would chart that, bro. I'm pretty much trading view bound right now. So let me know if you have any ideas where you want to chart Pi. I don't want to go searching the web randomly just now offhand. I do want to pull up. Yeah, okay. So Bitcoin is looking a little heavy here. I'll tell you what I'll be looking at if I'm a bull on Bitcoin in this move. You guys know me. Got my RLZ. And this will happen more often than you think. I mean, look at that. I already got the pump chaser tag. But like 382s are pretty much a given. If they get front run, it's super bullish. So we didn't get front run here. And this just looks heavy. This looks like it needs to have one of these. Just a little. And I bet if it does that now or soon or quick, I bet this will be the wick zone. Would it happen live right in front of us to prove a point? Stay tuned. Probably not. But as far as like, okay, so I want to trade this. Well, I got to go short here. Probably, you know, risking to here, depending on my tolerance and my sizing. And then I'm closing it out down in here. Or maybe I'm just chilling and I'm waiting. And on that low, the MACD makes a higher low. So I get my bullish divergence, right? And now I'm working with something here. Maybe I'm going to take it back up to the range high, right? just some quick thoughts on how I would be looking at this, but probably if we're moving down, this is our next little stop, which is something best viewed on the range. And on the higher time frames, let's take a look at what our RLZ paints for us. Right, and this is how we've been moving up. Right, broke out, RLZ tag, move on. Broke out. Up to here, draw the high, get your thing. RLZ front run, very bullish. And it continued up. I'm gonna get the full picture. Coming back down, pump chaser fib, caught it this time. But yeah, so yeah, 11.3. Sweep the low here, get nice and nasty, tag this breakout level finally. 11.250. But bottom line is ranging. Until we leave this range, altcoins spaz out, which is great news. It's okay, just throwing darts at me to see what sticks, eh, Bordock? Okay, well, let's take a look. I'm getting serious about pie. DeFi pie? Oh dear. Sounds tasty. Well, I could chart it here. Looks good. But I think I could do better. Uniswap. Oh, well, What's that ChartX Pro? I feel like a noob. I don't have it with me. Yeah, no, it's not going to work there. It's kind of tricky to find here without a contract. If I had ChartX Pro, I think Messi's been trading on that quite a bit. I got to get that link off him. Hey, just Google it. ChartX Pro. Is it even a thing? Quick and dirty? No. I'd have to take a while to find it, boys. But you know what? Look, we'll be back Wednesday. And on Wednesday, I'm going to pull up ChartX Pro. Let's dive into some nasty pie. Maybe even after the stream, if somebody links me a place to find that, I could happy to do it quick and dirty. But on here, you do get a nice little one that, for whatever reason, the trading view doesn't work. But got to get that widget on CoinGecko. Let's go back 90 days. How old is it? Yeah, it's not that old. But it's trending, bro. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Higher low incoming. Would it test this level? 60 cents. That would be a dip that a bull might look for. 60 cents. Kind of sweet. We're at 73 right now, so it's like what? Just over 15%, 10% down. Not saying it goes there, but if it did, I mean, that's your bullish retest. I mean, look right here. 48, breaks out, back down to 59, 50. Kind of like a bullish retest there. Again, tricky to chart on here. Hope it helps. A little slow, but the best way to find some 3 Uniswap. Yeah, like, look, my favorite is Uniswap Vision. The problem is it doesn't add things right away, right? So you can get DEXT, you can get some of the ones that I have and I'm wanting to chart. I mean, holy shit, look at this thing. Oof, not selling, not yet. Like, full disclosure, I have a free position. It's well past free. And I've been very tempted to keep trimming, but I'm like, you know what? People are going to keep buying 5,000 so they can use this thing until that changes. I don't see why the buy pressure stops. You know, lid is on here, so there's definitely some on here. But they take a little while to get listed. I wonder who's in charge of that. Maybe we could reach out and be like, yo, list my pie. What's the other one? Well, Zamp. No, there's... I don't know, but who the hell did this? Which one of you whales bought $15 million worth of Ethereum on here, and why? You paid a 10% premium, but you avoided KYC. So that's a sick way to enter the market. You're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm buying it at 440, 448, but I avoided KYC and I got a $15 million position. That's still pretty sick. I mean, to think that you could get a $15 million position in the span of 3 hours and avoid KYC and only pay like a 10% premium to the market. Pretty cool. Hashtag Uniswap. So I think we'll wrap today, guys, unless you got some more stuff you want to ask. I'm right here. what is it, 5:15? Don't have too much else to do. Love to stay on with you guys. But I want to make sure there's value and momentum and pace. So I've kind of gotten through the things I want to talk about today. If you guys have... Hell yeah, Samir Butt. Thank you, brother. Shout out to that kind comment. That made me feel good, man. I think you just made my day. Samir says, listening to you is the most satisfying thing. This keeps my mind cool around this buzz. Well, hell yeah, man. And it is, oh, it's overwhelming. It can be. But it's really, I think I saw a funny thing today, like that meme of like Mr. Bean sitting on the roller coaster, just cool as a cucumber. And it's just like, right? And then there's the other person on that same roller coaster just like screaming, losing their mind. And it's always like OGs versus noobs. And it's really just plan versus no plan. If you have a plan, and that's it's hard, right? People say that and you're like, okay, cool, bro. Well, what's my plan? It took me months, nay, over a year to go from like, holy shit, what am I doing, to I have a plan. I've been through this before. It's cool. This is all part of my plan, right? But reach out for that plan. Start working on that. Writing down things about yourself. How much rent do you have to pay? What are your what are the things in your life you need money for? What are your responsibilities? Iron out all the facts about yourself. How much time do you have? What time frame should you be trading on? Then once you have that background information on a document for yourself, you can start to think critically about how you should attack this market. And you do need to attack this market. You can't just, you could just sit by, park an index on Stacked, love their shit, and yeah, you could passively invest with that kind of thing. Auto rebalance. And that's probably the best for a lot of people, especially in this kind of market where you're just like, man, this whole thing could go up 2,000% like it did in 2017. Why stress out over it? Maybe even invest in passively most of my shit and then just play with a few ETH so I can, because I want to have some fun, but I don't want to stress out. How do you buy the dips on Uniswap? You can't even set alerts. Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm hearing rumors, and there probably will be a service at some point where you can buy and create bots that will allow you to set equivalent of a limit order on Uniswap. That'd be sick. That's probably coming. Seems highly probable. Is there going to be a coin for that? I hope so. I want to buy it. But yeah, with bots and things, you can buy dips. You can set price alerts. It's really tricky though, Harry. You're absolutely right. I think you can do price alerts right on here, right? Maybe. I don't use this for price alerts, but if something's not on TradingView, how do I set a price alert? Let's see. Yeah, look at that. When the price hits the target price, an alert will be sent to you via browser notification. So yeah, you might not catch a wick, but you could set a price alert on Pi, for example, when it drops, or set whatever price you want. And then it's like, hey, heads up, there's a dip happening, and you got to go manually buy it. That's the best I could think of for buying a dip on a thing like this that Uniswap does not allow it typically. Thanks, RH. Appreciate those kind words. I work very hard, harder than I care to admit, to make this stream high quality. So I've been troubleshooting some weird things for like a week. It blows my mind. But the mic is good. And I'm really glad you appreciate that. So let's see. Yes, missed BBs and BTC analysis today. Great to hear from you. Sick, Jeff. Appreciate that. And plan high highs, low lows. This even time around has been much better. Even if the plan is simple. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know, right? Alec is saying basically through 2017 didn't have a plan, right? Get crazy high, 100x, more money than you ever dreamed of, and then it's like the pit of the stomach as it dropped 40%, and all you can do is listen to the randoms on Twitter who tell you to buy the dip. You're all out of dry powder, so you can just hold, and then it drops another 40%. You just, yeah, been there, done that. Thankfully, skimmed some profit. One thing, off the top of my head, you just like pay yourself, man. Pay yourself. For Christ's sakes, laddie, take some cash and buy something nice. Enjoy the gains. I like to pimp out my tech when the market is really sexy, because good tech lasts a long time, right? I've got an iMac Pro. Shit, I would never buy that if I was working on my wage job or like a salary job, like some more average wage. It's like $5,000 bucks. But when the market was peaking in 2017, I'm like, fuck that, I'm buying that thing. And I still have it. I'm streaming on it right now, right? I didn't lose 80% of the value of that. So, you know, it's funny, I went to a money manager back then, not like I was crazy rich or anything, but I pulled out a decent little chunk and I thought, well, I should figure out what the hell to do with this. I really had more than a few grand savings. And the funny thing is, he said, and I did not expect this, but he said, you should probably spend some money. You should probably buy some shit. You know, like, do you have a car? Do you have a car? You're looking to upgrade your car? It's like, I had an old shit car. He's like, because once you do that, it's locked in. Can't lose 50%, 80% value on that. Obviously, the card loses value. I didn't go crazy about like a little nice little comfy one, but, you know, things like that. So pay yourself, man. Put a lot of work into this shit. And if you don't take profits, you might get really rich because the market keeps feeding you. But if it doesn't, and someday it won't, someday, you will feel really stupid and you will have wasted a lot of time and you won't have very much to show for it. So as a habit, I pay myself now. And the best example of that is on Uniswap. Like I said earlier in the stream, like NEXE. I don't know what the hell that is. Let's pull it up. Managed to get a bag of this. And I don't even care what the price action is right now because I've already taken my Ethereum back. You know, put in a few, turned into a few more, took my few back, and I've got, you know, what is it, 31 cents? Yeah, I got a couple thousand of these tokens sitting around in a wallet somewhere. And I'm gonna fucking sit on them. They're free now. And it took 2 days. 2 days for that. 2 sleeps. All right, so free positions, reducing risk, paying yourself, staying liquid, all things I'm doing right now. And I hope that you guys, you know, appreciate that. Try it out. Yeah, let's take a look at ZIL. What's it doing these days? It was really hot. Let's get over here. I think I have some markings on the chart already. Let's see if they're relevant anymore. ZIL. Ziliqua. Pump chaser fib shit the bed, but I bet we got a tag of the RLZ. Yeah. So that would have been play number 2. Never really got back down to this support box, support level. Doesn't have to, certainly, but I mean, we got some nice consolidation here. So that's really, I'd say, a satisfactory check in a bull market on a coin if you're bullish on it. Right, little resistance here, flip support, tested and moved on. Oh, a little bit of noise here. Let's get rid of some of that noise. Yeah, your GAN 50/50 would be up here at like 360 sats. There's definitely some targets above. And look at this. We're going to get a sick extension. Let's see where it goes. Because that's one big move, right? That's an impulse. So we can well, whatever you want to call it, rally, impulse, expansion. Let's get this here and extend it. Look at that. We're up into that 88.6, up into this consolidation here. That'd be my next target. I don't think the 0.5, I mean, look at the 0.5's lined up here, so that might be like a little stopping ground. But if we stay bullish, always the caveat emptor, we must stay bullish in the market. But if we do that, I see no reason why ZIL won't be part of that party. Clearly prove that it's got some pumpamentals. And so, yeah, probably want to break above this shorter time frame resistance right now. It's clearly where we just stopped. But a breakout of this actually might be a sick trade because, like, I missed my 618, right? 702. But perhaps this level is big enough. I mean, it's over here too, really. Actually, yeah, what the hell am I thinking? It's an old level. Support, 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 break through, break up. Now it's resistance, now it's resistance. So I don't want to long this yet. But if this thing breaks through, it's a pretty solid level. Failed here. So I would imagine if it breaks through, we could pretty decent chance of getting like a buy here. And then you're off, right? So let's get through this resistance at 220. Close a daily. Let's close a daily up there, and then, you know, then I might lay some stink bids in here. I mean, stink bids, just bids. Not that stinky. That would be a trade. That's an idea. I like that, actually. Because ZIL, you know, ZIL's one of those power coins. 2017 ICO shit. It's clearly proven. I mean, it's got a, what, that August of last year. That's a sick accumulation range. And then a very nice high volume breakout says, I'm a bottom. I'm done here. I'm ready to move up. Bullish retest. Go. Break through this level. Retest. Let's continue the party. And this is all 2017 shit. I mean, look at this chart. Let's get the volume on this thing. Just like a naked weekly. Look at this. Yeah. Yup. Yup. You got me bullish on Ziliqua. Ziliqua. Let's do this. Yeah. So, okay. Now I got to remember this thing because I talked a lot today and I don't want to forget this one. So I might say, okay, 230. Let's get a 230. Hunt bullish retest. Okay. So that's going to remind me now. On TradingView, it'll be like, ding, ding, you had a trade idea. Hunt bullish retest, and then I'll come back to this as soon as this high breaks, if it does. I assume it will. That was a friggin' bullish weekly we just saw. Consolidating or breaking even through 400 level. Looked a bit droopy before today's Uniswap buy. Yeah, Jeff's asking. Oh, did it? Yeah, XTZ is flying right now. Tis. I saw that earlier on the stream. Is it moving again? You peep ZIL? Yeah, so peep ZIL. Just looking, catching up on the chats here, fellas. Ethan Bees will go up soon. Daily stock RSI reversal from oversold zone. Cigar's getting super technical on me. Not a flyby comment there, sir. Just kidding, but I appreciate it. Let's take a look. Where's our stock? I think it's on my stock settings. Yeah, there it is. So let's pull these away because I don't care about them right now. We're looking at the stochastic. You got to give time frame references there. Did you? Yeah, daily. Perfect. I mean, the daily almost rolled over. I was noticing the other day, right? We broke down into that 80. Again, this big nasty candle basically stopping the trend in its tracks and saying, I need to range for a bit, just like it did here. I don't know that we'll range this long, but I do think we're in for some ranging, especially after last night got smacked down so hard. Again, good news if you're an altcoin guy. I mean, could you imagine if Bitcoin just ripped up here 2K? Like, sick. Okay, cool. You know, bull market. Love it. But a lot of these altcoin bags would have got wrecked. A lot of my shit coins on Uniswap would have got wrecked. And not like the same kind of algo dumping you see on big name coins on Binance, but like, you know, you're going to see sell-offs from people that are unsure, people that are, especially these like Uniswap coins, are like, I don't even know what this is. They'll sell it as soon as it starts going down. They have no reason to hold it. And I'm not talking about you or, you know, anyone in particular, just the people, the average, the Joe Publics, right? There is nothing holding those up other than, I mean, some of them maybe, but like generally it's like, because they're pumping. Why the hell else would I buy something? And so if they stop because Bitcoin decides to melt a face, probably a pretty quick retrace on a lot of those. And that's fine. That's normal. Just a heads up. Esprit. Yeah, Esprit's dope. I have some. Like I mentioned it on the stream earlier. I have some. I don't know what it is. And it was part of my rant about getting with a squad and rolling with a crew and having a group of people you trust that you would like send Ethereum to. That's how much you trust them. Like, I have some of mine are in real life friends. Some of them are like a buddy of mine he's a Dutch guy, great dude. And actually once in 2017, I actually sent him like a silly amount of Ethereum to buy me some shitcoin on OKX. And he did, and he sent the coin back. But before he could send it back, it had already gone up like 200%. And I actually was like, I was on a flight and I called him back. I said, dude, could you sell that for me too? and And it was ridiculous. So, I mean, that's the kind of friends that I'm talking about. And, you know, he laughed. He's like, you realize you just sent me like X amount of Ethereum. You don't even know who I am. I'm like, yeah, well, we've known each other months. I wouldn't recommend that generally. People you haven't met just sending them money. But I knew him for months online. And we had so much more reason to not rob each other. We were doing really well together. Good squad. Good team. So anyways, long story short, they got me into Esprit. So I have some. It like 25x'd. Obviously took my money back, sold a little more this morning. And I still haven't even gone to their website. I don't know what it is, but I have a free position now and I'm just sitting on it because apparently it's still bullish. Got like, I don't know, 200 of those tokens left just sitting there. And the nice thing is that I can't even track them. Oh my God, alerts everywhere. Spiking my ear hole. Let's go check them out. Yeah, ETH is trailing. Who said that earlier? You're absolutely right. We got the same alert on Bitcoin about 10 minutes ago. Yep. Here we go. So look, every time this happens when you're in chop, it looks like it's about to jump off a cliff. And I mean, it could. It did here. It did here. It did here. But we're in a bull market. That's just the way it is. Higher highs and higher lows, high time frames. So I am not trying to call tops here. Now, if this thing rolls right the fuck over, I'm not opposed to changing my tune. Like, I mean, look at this gap. Yeah, that's got to get filled in, I think. Very easily. Could say that. This looks like somebody put a top in. This looks like, you know, the bears are in control. Hell yeah. But there's trades in there that I'll be looking for. Right? Maybe let's just play this game for fun. So I'm already just drawing this up based on like some mental fibs, right? So maybe we get this kind of thing, right? Oh, the sky's falling. Smack that sweet spot. Then, based on this move down, I draw this short fib. Okay, so I measure it from top to the bottom. This is my short entry if I'm dying to get short. I've talked about this before, right? Not chasing the dump and being like, oh no, I was wrong, it's not a bull. But using that impulse down to find a safe entry where I can play from a position of strength. And then, yeah, a lot of highs will get washed there, right? It'll make a high, probably wash that high, stopping out everyone trying to high leverage it. And if it's a bear or if it's just time to, you know, cool off, is it really bearish to go down to 325? I mean, we were just at 250 like a month ago. Still a big up, right? Like, that's how I'm going to play this chop. I'm not trying to catch every little move, and I'm certainly not trying to chase these big red dumps. And then, yeah, then do we shake? I mean, what a shakeout that would be, right? Get a lot of people out of this market. They'd be running for the hills. Oh my God, I bought 400. Now I'm wrecked. And we're really just coming back into this consolidation, filling in this node. And then who knows, right? This is not a guarantee. But that's not based on the alarm I just got that what's going to happen or anything. It's just thoughts. Sharing as many of my thoughts. Yeah, Jones, that was you. And you're right. Does look like it's leading right now. This is the chart I'm most interested in. If you're not sure, as far as like a barometer for the market, I'm very bullish on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. And why not? Look at this thing. Sick consolidation, accumulation, consolidation under here, 56 days, breakout. I mean, I got to go back to my higher time frame chart. Look at this thing. You got this old SR level, and we just broke through it finally after consolidating under it for months and months and months. Big volume comes in like this thing. Woo. DeFi, even Bitcoin. Nick was talking about this earlier. He'll be on hopefully later this week. He was talking about this earlier. Like, even Bitcoin is now getting wrapped Bitcoin on the Ethereum network. Who knew that Ethereum would be that second layer protocol for Bitcoin? So, I mean, this thing, very exciting. And so, yeah, zooming in, there's lots of things that could happen here. Not all of them bad, right? Anyone paying themselves against these highs, yeah, you might risk having to buy it back a little bit more expensive. You're wrong. It's like, okay, I'll buy 420. I sold 395, whatever. You know, lost some money in there. but I might get an opportunity to buy it back down here. And that, my friends, is called trading. There's risk on both sides. So you're risking having to buy back 6% more expensive, losing 6% of your Ethereum. And on the other side, you might increase your Ethereum bag by 18%. Not for the faint of heart, not recommended for randoms, just, you know, who are like, oh, I'll try that. Because is this really the trade you want to be making right now? Well, if Uniswap pairs are doing that, well, Binance coins are doing what they're doing. I mean, I'm just not really too worried about this shit, to be honest. I've got some Ethereum, I've got some Bitcoin, I got a little Tether, using the Tether, you know, on futures accounts. And I got a bunch of shitcoins, and I'm keeping my Ethereum liquid. In, shitcoin go up, take Ethereum back. In, shitcoin go up, take Ethereum back. Save some shitcoin. Planting seeds. So, I think we'll wrap for today, guys. Yeah, 536, real nice one. Be Your Deck says, my voice is so low. Low volume? Or like bass? Not too sure what you mean by that. I hope it's a good thing, because it's an hour and a half into a stream, and if it's low volume, that would be really awkward. Oh, YF link. Let's take a look at what is. Oh, I don't even know. Is this the one? YFI? Great stream, brother. Thanks. Appreciate it. Be Your Decks. Shout out to that mildly vague comment. And I hope you're well, brother. And I hope my voice isn't too low. All right. Take care, guys. We're going to wrap. Coming up on Wednesday, I'm going to do a little deep dive into this YF link, YFL. Basically like a DeFi thing where you stake Link to get a yield. Could be influencing Link price. So a little teaser for you for next week. We'll check it out. Few dBs low. Okay. Well, like, yeah, I'm right here. I got the controls. So maybe for next time we'll tweak that a little. But I can be louder. Just like that. So there we go. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I'll see you in the trading pit. If you appreciate the stream and if you like what I did here, we're going to have a lot more of this. So hit us up with a like, hit us up with a sub, hit us up with a bell, put the notifications on. I personally want to go live a lot more. So keep an eye out on that. We may even get some new times in very soon. Otherwise, have a great day and always play from a position of strength.